Phoenix Baker with us. Phoenix, great to talk to you. We've seen the face. You've done pretty well with your signage from what we've seen, but we want to know a little bit more about yourself. Tell us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I've been in leadership and volunteer roles all my life. I've volunteered with Legacy Shared Happens, which is a Fraser Coast men's mental health group, as well as a few other organisations. I've been in leadership roles all my life. I lead two teams at New Life Church, and I do admin at local charity We Care Too.
Thanks, Phoenix. If you are elected to council, what do you hope to achieve during your term?
So a big one that I'm looking at is just a better footpath system in Harvey Bay. It needs to be important for residents pushing prams, residents on mobility scooters or in wheelchairs to access essential services safely. I think we need to look at the management of council funds and really have a responsible mindset with that. I know costs are increasing, but rates shouldn't be increasing at an exorbitant level. I'm passionate about keeping rates as low as we can. It's about keeping it fair to the community. I think with our growing population, we also need to be looking at traffic management and really looking at the community parks that we're putting in new residential areas, especially for families. There's a lack of backyards in a lot of new houses that are going up, and I think we really need to look at the quality of community parks. And I think we also need to have a look at the water strategy as well, just with our growing population. I think it's also important that we have further representation for people aged 18 to 25. We do get about 2,000 to 3,000 residents every year come to Harvey Bay, but we are losing about 1,800 people aged 18 to 25 every year.
Thanks, Phoenix.
In council, you'll need at least 5 other votes to achieve anything in chamber. How are you going to build trust with the fellow councillors?
Yeah, I think just comes down to building relationships with them, showing them that you're all about community. You're about serving the people, not yourself, and that does require teamwork. It requires compromise, and it requires having an honest discussion. It requires the ability to listen to the other councillors and to really take what they say under advisement and to see if we can come to an acceptable solution that will have the community's best interests at heart and that will really benefit the community as a whole. And I think it's important to just build those relationships with other councillors and build that trust.
Where are you calling us from today?
So I'm at We Care Too at the moment. I had a couple of days off during the week. Just had an illness I was paddling off earlier this week, so I'm just doing a bit of catch up at the moment.
I tell you what, I'm loving that the Sunshine Van is finally out and about on the roads to help out the homeless. Can you tell us a little bit about the Sunshine Van?
Yeah, so it was donated to us, I believe 2022 it was donated to us. And we've had a few issues with getting it roadworthy and registered and all that kind of stuff. But it's finally out and about. We're showing everyone what it is down at the homeless breakfast that we do. We're just trying to test it and make sure it's all up and running. We're just waiting on council approval to really get it up and running, and then we're going to start using it as a full service 3 days a week when we do our community breakfast. So that has the shower, and it has 2 washing machines and 2 dryers for clothes of people that need to use it, and it's a completely free service.
I've been so impressed at the level of community connection from the people we've spoken to today.
Yeah.
What a great initiative, Phoenix.
Yeah, look, there's a couple of guys that came together. Brett and Greg came together with the van, and they weren't able to. They built it. 2 local men, and they said to We Care Too, "Hey, would you guys like this as a project?" And obviously, they've had to do bits and pieces to get it together. So it's all community working together. But you're exactly right. Like Phoenix is working with these people, and it is community-minded stuff. These are people that do care and are out and about on our streets. So yeah, just lovely to see, isn't it?
Yeah, Phoenix, from I guess a different type of question for you. You're the youngest candidate running in this council election. I'm interested to know from your perspective. Sometimes you have to, and I'm not trying to preempt this, but if you were not successful in this election, and there's a possibility you're running against an incumbent councillor, will you still pursue? Will you still pursue elected office? Because I think you've done an incredible job with your campaign, and I think you've got a lot to offer. But the benefit you have is that you have time. So what does the future look like for Phoenix?
Yeah, at the moment I'm not too sure. I'm very, very passionate about helping the community, and at this point in my life, it seems like council is the most effective way that I can be helping as many people as possible. 4 years' time, who knows? I'll still be passionate about helping community, whether that be in a different organisation where I feel I'm helping more people, or whether it be in council. It's definitely something that's on the table. But yeah, at this stage, I'm definitely focused on this election.
Awesome.
All the
Brilliant.
best.
Yeah,
That's great.
lovely. Great to talk to you, Phoenix. Really nice to actually put a personality to the face. So that's great.
So Denis, it's great that you could join us. We've got some questions that we wanted to ask you. Firstly, who are you? So tell us a bit about yourself.
Look, I've lived in the Fraser Coast. I was born in the Fraser Coast. My great-grandfather actually, he took a plot in 1850 in Bopple, and he actually, at the age of 16, used to take sheep and bring sheep and cattle back from Melbourne and muster cattle down to Melbourne also. So he was a pioneer of the area, and but he had to clear his plot. And I was brought up through my family. My grandfather was a hard worker, my father was a hard worker, and I'm a hard worker. If it needs to be done, I just get in and do it.
Denis, you're probably one of the more experienced people on the campaign trail. So what's your vision for council if you're elected? What do you hope to achieve?
So Terry, we've got a lot of growth going on in this region. We're the fourth fastest community growing. And my vision is to look at this growth, look at the infrastructure that's needed for this growth, and be putting facilities out there. It's very tough at the moment because the cost of prices and the cost of, like gravel's gone up twice as much to what a truckload of gravel was a couple of years ago. But the vision that I've got, and I actually worked with Stuart when council, and Stuart's seen my vision. When I first got in, when I first joined council, one of the things I went to the council and said is the Boundary Road extension needs to be pushed through. It needs, my portfolio was infrastructure, and I looked for missing links around on the maps. And I found that Boundary Road was missing. And I actually went and said, this needs to be put in. And some of the councillors said to me, oh no, it's a big project, we won't be able to do it. I said, it needs to be done. It needs to be done for our future because Boat Harbour Drive is growing and we need to take the traffic off Boat Harbour Drive. So what actually happened was when Michael McCormick come to Harvey Bay, he said, have we got any projects that are ready? And I pushed through council to get it shovel ready, get the design done and everything. And I said to Michael, I said, I've got a project for you, come and have a look. Went out there and we got $7.7 million for that project. And that was off the Deputy Prime Minister of Australia. That's my vision. My vision is to try and give this community what it needs for the future.
At the time, I didn't think the Boundary Road was the right time to deliver that. It turns out you were right, and I was less right.
Hard for you to take, Stuart?
Oh well, I'm happy to. It certainly has been a good outcome for the community, no doubt, and no one can argue that was your vision and you pushed it. And
Stuart, you can see, like, you've worked with me before, and I'm a team player. I played rugby league till I was 30. I represented A-grade rugby league front row. And you don't play that position if you don't want to go forward. And that's but there's a few things we never agreed on, Stuart, in council, but we always work together, and that's what I never carry any luggage.
That's a nice lead-in for our next question.
It is certainly a nice lead-in to the next question. What's the next question, Satira?
Well, you already know that you need 5 votes to get the ideas and the decisions across the table. What's your approach to teamwork?
Well, I'm a person that likes to, sometimes I'll bring up the opposite to what people are saying just to draw it out in the debate. I was Apex Public Speaking and Debating Director for Queensland for 2 years. And if you just hear the one side of the story all the time, and I may not be thinking about going that way with the vote, I might be thinking going the other. But I throw it out there just to see what the other parties around the table are saying. And it helps, keeps everyone's mind fresh and keeps them thinking about other things around the table. And I'm really a team player, and we've seen that. I get on good with everyone. And even the mayor and I, people said, how are you going to be working with the mayor, Denis, as deputy mayor? And George and I get on really well. George is doing a great job. The stability we've got in council at the moment is great, but you don't get that great stability by not working at it. And I think everyone in the council at the moment has been working very hard for that, keep that stability. And with that stability, people outside who want to invest in the area are moving in here to come and invest. And we're welcoming people that want to, because we need jobs for our young people. We need to keep young people in the Fraser Coast. And we don't want them finishing school, going to finish and looking for a job. Next thing they're off to the Sunshine Coast or Brisbane or wherever they've got to go. We want to keep them here.
Awesome. Denis, thank you so much for your time. Good luck in the next 2 weeks. Is there any other final remark you want to say before you head off and continue your election campaigning?
Look, Stuart, you know how I campaign, and it's always pretty hard, but I enjoy it. I enjoy talking to people out there, enjoy hearing what's saying, but I'm just going to say to yourselves, you're doing a good job. This is much needed so the people in the community can hear what's going on. And thank you very much, and thank you for fitting me in, because I did want to have a go. I did want to put my point across to let people have an opinion out there who they're voting for. And thank yous both.